Hello, fabulous superstar Gemini. Welcome to your horoscope for the month of April 2025. I am your astrologer, Nadiya Shah. Thank you for being here. A limited number of consultations are now available with me or my friends, including Andy of Wise Ass Astrology, over on my website. Secure yours now at nadiyashah.com. Links below. On April 7th, your ruling planet Mercury officially goes direct, moving through the top of your sky. And this gives you powerful insights in a split second in some cases as to what it is for you to align with a higher, more loving vision for your life. This is a glimpse into nothing less than a sense of destiny. And it sets the stage for a truly powerful full moon that awakens you on a level of heart and feels as if it just helps your enthusiasm feel that much stronger and that much higher. And that is because the full moon that's taking place is in fellow air sign Libra. This is a heart-oriented part of the sky for you, having to do with what you want in your heart of hearts in every area of life. What will make you happy? What brings you joy? And it also has to do with fulfillment, including creative fulfillment, and the children in your life are covered here as well. And so we've got an interesting connection with Mars to this full moon, which does suggest that there's a measure of some frustration. There's something that you really want. It could be something you want to do or to have, but it is Mars at that point that is moving through a financial part of the sky. And so having the money come together to do something that you feel you really like to, well, that might be part of what is facilitating some tension here. And yet, what we also get is Jupiter in your sign, speaking in supreme harmony with this full moon. Now, that is the enthusiasm I spoke of. That is a feeling of hope and possibility. And this is taking this time for you, which really you've got just a couple months left. It will be in the later part of June that Jupiter will leave your sign, not to return for over a decade to come. And so when Jupiter moves through your sign, it represents the beginning of a brand new 12-year cycle. You're still right at the beginning of that cycle with Jupiter in your sign. But when we have moments like this, moments that awaken that Jupiter with a full moon, but also with the sun speaking in harmony with that Jupiter, marking a truly fortunate day of the year. Well, all of that comes together to help you to realize just all there is that you can be enthusiastic about. That there is a sense of hope and that there's actually opportunity. Maybe it had been there all along, but just now, under the light of this full moon, you're able to see it, you recognize it. It's the unleashing of positive energy that is the game changer at this time. Now, do know that this part of the sky also has to do with gambling. I would be a little careful with that, especially if it requires any kind of money up front. That's where you especially have to be careful because of that Mars connection there that I spoke of. And yet, for all of that, where it is that you are being strategic, where it is that you are taking a chance, not on a lottery necessarily, but more like taking a chance on something you hope will go well, something that you are trying to time just right. Well, this full moon can be incredibly helpful in that regard, for helping you to feel just very fortunate, for helping you to feel like you've gained an advantage as a result of some well-timed action that you take, rooted in some truth about who you are and what it is that you really want to do. Literal minutes after this full moon, fully 39 minutes after the full moon, Venus officially goes direct. This is huge. Venus will go direct in a part of the sky for you that, again, is where Mercury is. It has to do with understanding a higher, more loving vision for your life, and you're able to see it with heart. You're able to see that path, that vision just open up and bring that much more love to it. And it is Venus throughout this month that is hanging out mighty close to Saturn and the North Node all month. But these three are going to be in a special moment of precision in their contact just 2 days leading up to this month's new moon on the 27th. So 2 days earlier, we get this triple conjunction energy of Venus, Saturn, and the North Node. And this in turn, again, that sense of a higher, more loving vision, that sense of career beginnings, career advantages, or just alignment with life purpose that feels like, yes, this is where you feel called to go. This is where your heart wants to go. It might be an opportunity to put in time, to put in work, but it does represent a fresh start that can feel rather exciting. The day after that triple conjunction, so just the day before the new moon, we're going to have a precise moment of the Mars-Pluto opposition. This is the third and final opposition these two planets are going to make as part of the larger Mars retrograde season. So Mars is direct, but Mars is in shadow right now, sort of wrapping up loose ends, retracing the steps Mars took while retrograde. And it is going to be at the very start of next month that Mars officially leaves shadow. The Mars retrograde season will be good and behind us once it is that this month is through. Having said that, this opposition is huge because it is a moment of tension, but it also promises breakthrough. But it does come after a period that might feel stressful. And this might feel especially hard to pin down for you in particular. And that is because the new moon itself takes place in the sign before yours. And that new moon sets up a T-square, which is a larger configuration of tension with Mars and Pluto as well. And so it brings that much more emotion and that much more a feeling that something's got to give, something's got to change. A feeling of profound restlessness could be there for the Geminis out there that feels very much on the surface under the light of that new moon until there is a moment that feels like something has shifted, a breakthrough, if you will. Embrace frustration. It is inviting you to look at where you can take action to improve your circumstances, even if those actions feel elusive to you in some way. Pace yourself at this time, knowing that, well, the answers that you seek, they're not going to be readily apparent. And yet, by doing what's in front of you to do, by doing your best and surrendering the rest, you just might find yourself doing what you need so that you can ultimately set the ground, set the stage for the kind of breakthroughs that you are hoping for. Mars is in a communicative part of your sky, and it is Pluto in fellow air sign Aquarius, a worldly part of your sky. All of this is about communication, conversation, synchronicity, and understanding what your personal morality is and how that guides your thinking processes, how that guides your words now. Well, that might be part of some truth that's stirring within, but once you have that realization, it is a breakthrough moment that ultimately empowers you tremendously going forward from here. Now, where it comes to matters of love, I'm going back to that full moon energy on the 12th, because that full moon is happening in that heart-oriented part of the sky, which, in addition to what I mentioned, has to do with romance, flirtation, and what the heart is wanting. Of course, we are in a pivotal moment as part of the larger Venus retrograde season, where for you, love and respect are intimately tied. That is going to be a big theme now. Yes, what your heart is wanting is going to feel on the surface, and yet the respect has got to be there if there's going to be any kind of forward traction. For those of you open to meeting someone new, well, look, you'll be getting your flirt on under the light of that full moon, and chances are it'll feel healing and hopeful and optimistic and exciting as well. It is that full moon energy that can restore a sense of fun, but first you may have to get over a little bit of, well, tension, but that tension might actually be part of the fun of this time. Where it is that you sense there might be respect or at least a respectful approach, well, you're that much more inclined to consider what could be here. For those of you just starting to date someone, well, I love the overall fun energy of that full moon. However, throughout this month, we've got Venus-Saturn North Node hand in hand, and I can't help but feel this is energy of consequence, which means that as much as a part of you may want to just continue to enjoy and have fun, there's going to be a part of you that is thinking about where it's heading, where it's going, but also what it is you're really wanting in a larger sense and whether or not that's here. Stay open to some truth of what you really feel, but also what it is you really know that likely is going to feel more and more apparent as you move later and later into the month. And for those of you in an established bond, the overwhelming majority are going to find this a time when you feel much more committed, more bonded to your partner, and more with a sense of a shared vision. The goals that the two of you have together and where you're heading together as well might feel like it is that much more obvious to both of you. That becomes part of uniting the two of you together. There is going to be a small percent out there. If you felt for a while you might not be in the right relationship for you, some of those feelings are likely to stir very strongly now. In fact, you can't help but be honest with yourself as to what it is you can do, but also what it is that you're no longer willing to do indefinitely. Can you do this for the rest of your life is what we ask ourselves when Venus meets Saturn. Well, you add where this conjunction is taking place. You add that the North Node is in the mix as well. And I think you're going to find an answer to that question. And if the answer is no, well, this could be a big turning point moment, encouraging you to go another way. What I love about this month for you, there's so much here. It's a powerful and meaningful astrological moment. For you, I'm going to say your ruling planet Mercury going direct on the 7th is a really big deal. That forward momentum now helps you to feel as if you are more clear, more bright, more able to recognize where you are going. Not just in the immediacy, but certainly in a higher sense as well, given where it is that Mercury is going forward at the top of your chart. It's a chance for you to be very big picture about whatever might be happening in your life. That's going to lend itself to you making some choices that end up having consequence. But these are consequences that you really are ready for as you align yourself more with a path that ultimately moves you towards greater self-respect and overall respect as well. Well, thank you so much for watching. You can get a video like this each and every week for each and every sign for as low as just $3 a month with Choose Your Membership rate over at NadiyaShahSuperstars.com, where you get expanded exclusive video scopes each and every week. Higher tiers get you things like all access passes to Synchronicity University events, consultations with me, and so much more. All of this in the Superstar space at NadiyaShahSuperstars.com. Links are in the description below. Thank you again for watching. It'll be a great month. Enjoy.